had a fancy pants destination wedding and... Oh! They had a baby! Ah! Smart and handsome. Ooh, la, la. Now, I've been saving these frames for pictures of my future grandbabies for years. And the shopping sprees on organic clothing and telephone cases is not helping you save for a family. Oh, gracious! Look at that! He's a model! Oh. I bet you he's putting all that money right into a 401k or his baby's college fund. And his teeth are so straight. See how good saving can look at feedthepig.org. Feed the pig.
Hi, I'm Dean, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Dia Guivacorda, it's Misha Amy Angels, August 4th. Hi friends, it's Amy Angels and welcome. Here we are, another week. We're midway now through June and a lot of topics to talk about today. There's been a lot of emotions, lessons, all those type of things being pushed up and shown to people in various ways. And as you know, with the spiritual intelligence, my mission is to share with you what I'm going through and people who let me share with you what they're also going through, just to highlight it's not just me. I'm not alone. It's not just you. And that's what I really want to talk about as we create the community of awareness around our spiritual development and spiritual intelligence. So, as I always like to do at the beginning, just give you a quick synopsis of, we say, what has been for the past week for me. I'm in Melbourne still, and I'm on my last week. I'm on the last week here in Melbourne, and it's been pushing up huge emotions in me. There's been a lot of stuff. I remember at the beginning of June, I spoke about there will be a lot of spiritual breakthroughs, and that translates to awareness during the month of June. And I, for one, have been feeling that tremendously during the past week, and very much so given that I'm moving, we say, back towards Europe. I'm going via China, as I've spoken about, and just things that I know that I've got to settle. There's a few things that have been pushed up that I cannot ignore anymore, and things that I need to tidy up on an emotional level. And that pushes up tremendous emotions. Anybody will feel that. So for me, it's been really about taking stock of what it is and how I'm going to do it. I'm putting it out there, the energy that, it's going to be okay. This has to be met, the emotions, the circumstances, and how I can actually bring myself to it and how I can actually work with what I will bring up. So as always, as I support that, I know I'm not alone. I know I've been talking to people here during the past few days, and yeah, the emotions are being really pushed up to the forefront. So as I always do, I'd like to start with picking out a card for this week from the inspirational cards, because we're all needing that. If you're here, you're connecting with A1R Psychic Radio, you're looking for readings, you're looking for inspiration, for direction, there's a reason you're actually hearing what I'm going to talk about right now. So I'm going to pick from the pack of cards as always, and it's for everybody. It's a generic card for all of us. And look at this. Time to leave your comfort zone. That's just so and so with what I just said. I mean, time to leave your comfort zone. Yes, I know that. It's very much about, what we are facing into at the moment. As I talked about with all the, spiritual awareness and alignments and what we're driving towards. So there's a couple of areas I'd like to talk about today. One, I just want to talk about addictions. Okay, so when I say the word addiction, what does that stir up in you? Do you automatically think about alcohol or drugs? What about sugar? What about food? What about behaviors? certain behaviors that when we're triggered. And that's just an area I would just like us to give some thought on, and it's something I'm going to build on in time through examples, and maybe some people will talk about it. So one of the things I have found in the past couple of weeks, and I can put my hand up to this as well, and somebody put a post on Facebook just the other day about their awareness of it, and they were talking about sugar cravings. How when you feel, let's use the word unloved, not good enough, being stressed. I mean, think of work, think of your daily life. You're stressed and you're just feeling you're not heard, which is a big factor going on at the moment. What do? Where do you go to? And this person put up the post, and I can put my hand up and say, yes, that is me also. And I remember when I got to the point of being so aware of what I call the treats cupboard, and how I was going to it, and it didn't matter how quickly I made the bar of chocolate disappear or the biscuits. And if you're sitting there right now and you've got the biscuits or the chocolate, just take a moment. I'm not finger pointing at you, but maybe just take a moment to, why am I eating this? Is this a habit? Is there an emotion behind it? And I made the point to this person the other day, when I work with people and they're talking about addictions and obviously, the treats. And I said, when you go to that cupboard, or is it the fridge? For some people, it could be cheese. It could be you just constantly go and you're eating cheese. Put a sticker on the cupboard or the box where you keep the treats, and just onto that, write, what emotion am I feeding? Or another way to put it is, what emotion am I trying to numb? So think about that. Does that make you feel uncomfortable to think about it, first and foremost? Do you feel guilty thinking about it? If you have a pen and a piece of paper, write down those initial feelings. And that's where you start. So if you can just bring the awareness, just acknowledge. First step, acknowledging. This is how I cope with stress. It could be the glass of wine or the beers, or it could be drugs, or it could be over-the-counter drugs. You have to deal with pain. What is it for you? I know for me, when I became aware of it, and very recently too, I've been challenged with it even here in the recent weeks, of watching it with people and thinking, oh my gosh, what is that replacing, first of all? For some people they might have given up drugs and now they're eating sugar. And sugar is such, the brain realizes, I want more, so feed me more. And then after a while, there's this, what I call a snap feeling in you, and it's like, no more. And then you do good, and you're back on track, and then something again triggers you. So what I'm trying to do with this series is bring awareness to what triggers me. Where do I feel it? So for me, this particular week, the emotions have been very much about, okay, I've got to go back and settle some things and tidy up some things, and particularly on an emotional level, and things I probably should have done before, but there is no before. This is the right time. This is the time, as the card said, time to leave your comfort zone and really just embrace what's to happen. So maybe that is you. Maybe it is time for you to look at, what is my comfort zone? Is the chocolate? Is the hot chocolate? You could be drinking a hot chocolate if you're in a cool part of the world, or the biscuits. What is it feeding? What is the emotion? But as I said, write down the words that it's giving to you. Are you feeling guilty? Are you feeling shame? Or maybe you're feeling the emotion, or it's the memory. It's I get this feeling when I think about, and put in the rest. So then, I spoke earlier at the start of these shows, what are your tools to help you cope? So do you go for a crystal healing session? Do you go for IAT, massage? Do you go and talk to a therapist? You know, for me, one of my favorite things, as I've told you, is crystal support, etc., and things like that. Another one that I love to do is EFT, emotional freedom technique. So that's tapping on the points. Again, go to YouTube. You will find, put in tapping for, excuse me, and put in the emotion. Is it for overeating? Is it for sheep? Put in the word, put in a search, and just see, what are you drawn to? And you might do so much yourself, but I will always say you need to, for certain breakthroughs, you will need to go and talk to a practitioner. You know, there's various details on that. I do that too via Skype as well. So if you want to contact, please go to my Facebook page, which is Life of Amy. Connect with me there, like the page, and we can message, etc., and things like that. But also, you know, it could be holding a crystal. It could be getting some energy work done on you. You know, in IET, which is Integrated Energy Therapy. So we do healing with the energy of angels. And we use the expression, let's get the issues out of the tissues. Because remember, everything is imprinted. You know, even the babies in the womb take in information. They store memories. So, you know, you often think, oh, should they forget about that? They won't remember that. The emotional impact is stored in the tissues. So it shows itself up at a very later stage in life, which could be 40 years later. You know, so for me, what I find is this particular past few days, you know, it's my crystals. You know, I've spoken about kyanite, which is the crystal for 2017, and the support. And, you know, I have it so close to me all the time. If it's not next to me in the bed locker, it's in my handbag, just to give me that additional support at working through and allowing these emotions to come to the surface and really saying, okay, how can I deal with it and how am I supporting myself? And I'm not alone. Like, I've been talking to people who are on the spiritual development path and the challenges that they're facing this week. And I made a comment just yesterday, I think it was, you know, we are consciously aware of what is happening and of what we have to face, the emotions, etc., the situations that are coming down the track, but we have no control over how it will impact us as we go along. Many people are not aware. So they have that extra stress, as I call it, of thinking, it must be just me. Nobody else is talking about this. You know, I must be crazy. I attract this. It is on a global scale. It is everywhere. I've been talking to people here in Melbourne, in the Middle East, in Ireland, and they're all talking about the same thing. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling very emotional. This is happening. My body is showing me this. So you're not alone. That's what I want to get across to you today. You are not alone. You are a part of this global community, which is going through massive changes, really being pushed on it. So just allow yourself, just really, if you can, spend a moment and take a deep breath. And just look at, what is it I go to? What is it sitting around me at the moment? You know, there could be some food, there could be some, you know, is this an everyday thing? Or it may not be, but what else could it be? It could be a behavior. Look at that as well. And be kind to yourself as you acknowledge it. I found just this past week here in Melbourne, the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival was on, and I was a little bit not inclined to go because I have been to it in recent months, and the energy of it was just yuck. That's the word I can only describe it as, yuck. So for me, as a consciously aware person of feeling that going in, somebody who is unconsciously aware and is so interested in going to, oh, it's Mind, Body, Spirit, let's go get readings, let's go get crystals or learn something about what they talk about in the various talk rooms, performance stages, etc. People were getting so sick they would just turn around and walk back out. So I popped in on Saturday just to check the energy, and the energy was good. It had shifted, it had changed. So I went back in on the Monday to spend time there on my own and really just connect. For me, I'm connecting, as you know, with crystal shops, crystal people who are interested in learning about the Divine Essence Crystal Healing system. Who wants to become a crystal healing practitioner? They were there from Perth, Brisbane, Canberra, Sydney, all over Australia. They had come to this. And for me, it was great to see the volume of crystals that were on offer, the amount of different people who had come in from different states here. And I can honestly tell you the vibration had changed in that Mind, Body, Spirit Festival. What I also noticed was some of the more holistic practitioners had come back. So the colleges where you can go and learn, maybe it's something you've been thinking about, which is why I'm bringing this up now. So the kinesiology college were back. The massage colleges were back. Advertising. I hadn't seen them at recent ones. I was just there just a few months ago in November. So very interesting to see the shift that is moving towards the really holistic approach of what people are needing. So of course, I can honestly tell you that at those crystal stands, it was 3 and 4 people deep. People searching for, I need a crystal for this. And I just got chatting to people within the shops that were there and telling them about, oh, do you know this is the crystal for Kyanite came up. It's the crystal for 2017. It's helping us speak our truth, being honest, supporting us with all the changes that we're going through. We talked about various other crystals as well. And talking to the shop owners, they were really happy to be there. Purely from the point of view of, for many it was a return, but for many it was their first time being at it, and they loved the vibration. For those who were returning, they could sense the change in the vibration as well. So maybe for you, you've been putting off going to such a place in recent years because of the change. I know I was doing a talk on Saturday morning and nobody at the talk wanted to go to the MBS. It's off. The energy is off. And I thought, okay, that's interesting how they've been feeling that, whereas now there's a shift. There really is a shift happening for us. So maybe for you, maybe today, tomorrow for you, you can go and book something for yourself. Maybe you're going to, there is a festival on this weekend where there are healers that you could try something new. Maybe you're open to it. That's why you're hearing this now. Some things that you've never tried before, but you're hearing this word IET, you're hearing crystal healing. Maybe it's just go to a shop. And if you are going into a crystal shop, go in devoid of, oh, I'm going in for a crystal to support me with name and emotion. I always describe it as go into a crystal healing shop and just look. Look at the colors, look at what's in front of you, and be drawn. You will be drawn by the color first. And then go and search for that and feel the crystals. And sometimes, for me, on one of the stands that I was at on Monday, I picked up a crystal. And the rush of energy that went through me, it caught my breath. So for me, I thought, okay, this is very interesting how that might happen to you. It might be, or you might get teary-eyed, you might break out in tears, but you might get teary-eyed and you pick up certain crystals. I know that can happen to me. That's the crystal for you. But so don't be swayed by, oh, I need a crystal for anxiety. It might be a crystal for anger you actually need first. Heal that to get to the anxiety level. So you look at triggers. Or it could be a case of you might have a deck of cards, crystal cards and things like that. Pick a card. What is it? Sit with it. Do you meditate? We spoke about this as well. You know, for many people with the busy lifestyle that everybody is going through at the moment between, you know, full-time jobs, full-time working within the home, and etc., it's hard to find time. And I always talk about if you can just find 1 minute, and while breathing in, count to 5, and breathing out, count to 5. And do that 10 times, you've meditated, that's it. So if you can pick a card, or even later, as you go and rest, you might think of this card that I picked, you know, time to leave your comfort zone. What does that mean to you? What does it make you feel? Just sit with it for 1 minute. You've done it. Just give yourself the grace to have that time. So another thing I wanted to talk about as well this week was how we are all moving towards embracing the rest of the year. So how are you going to do that? You know, you're looking for answers, you're asking questions. So what does it mean to you? Have you really reflected, which I've been talking about for the past few weeks, on what is my life contract? How can I really embrace my life purpose? What is it I want to do? For many of us, you know, we've moved away from the corporate world and challenged by moving into what our passion is. And the fears are coming in then as well in relation to, yesterday, I'll give you this example of me. I was thinking, oh my gosh, do I have to go back and get an administration job? Should I do that? And I thought about it for a few minutes, and I was going, that would actually kill my soul. That's the only way I can describe it. It would kill my soul. And then, so funny, somebody actually put up a post, and I'm just looking here at this now at the moment, and was talking about how the old fears are creeping up. And it's like sucking you back. And I was like, are you going to lose your focus? The test is here. That's what this week is very much about. And we're being, you know, somebody said we're being coaxed. You know, you're making a choice. How are you going to speak up? How do you want to do this? And I remember just here, and I keep hearing the word responsibility. You know, I'm responsible for how this all goes. I'm responsible for my spiritual development. Nobody else. You know, I will always have the days where I'll question certain things, and then the other days it's just like, release, let the healing occur, let this just be. So for you listening here now at the moment, or you might be watching on Facebook, that what is it? Like, what is really pushing your soul to be happy? And remember, if there was no judgment, nobody finger pointing, whatever, what would you do? What would you choose to do with your life? How would you make an impact? How can you make a difference? And now think about, how would that make you feel by making an impact, making a difference, you know, and sharing your gift, because you have that gift. You know, somebody put up a Facebook post recently about a first quilt she made 3 or 4 years ago, and I went, the start of another gift, because this woman is amazing on the loom, and she makes these beautiful scarves and everything, and here she is, she started quilting. She must have made at least, I have to say, at least 30, 40 quilts since then. The passion, how her creativity grows, you know, and the love she puts into everything she's doing. So how would you do it? Maybe for you it's a business from home. You know, maybe you're gifted with doing things with your hands. Maybe you're gifted with listening. Maybe you want to go back to college and you're thinking, I can't do this. I'm too old. No way. You know, you're never too old. You know, I love reading stories about people who are inspired and they learn how to drive in their 70s, 80s. They learn how to use a computer in their 80s. I have such respect, and I get inspired by those people, and I think, but I would always say I'm not technically minded. I prefer to feel things, and I don't like that part of the brain. So when I'm challenged and I have to work at things on my iPod or my phone, I think to myself, I can do this. You know, we all have to learn. Remember, when we came into this life, you know, we knew exactly what was going to happen. We knew what our contract was. We knew what we'd agreed to do, but we forgot everything. Remember, we had to learn how to sit up, how to walk, how to use a knife or fork. And remember that. We had to learn right from the basics. So if you're being challenged and you're thinking, okay, what is it I want to do? What's my passion? What can I really look at? You know, some people I've met here, they're thinking, I think I'm going to go back to college, and they've done a lot in college already, but they're actually going to add a fun aspect of it, like to dance or something like that. Who knows where it will take you? Please do not limit yourself. Do not limit your own abilities or your beliefs. And just remember, just go and look in the mirror and think, what is it you want to do? What is it you want to show the world and let shine? For me, it's sharing all of this. You know, it's sharing what is spiritual intelligence. You know, it's teaching people how to become a Divine Essence Crystal Healing practitioner, an IET practitioner. It's about showing people that you actually have the power. It's in you. I promise you, you have the gift. Many of you listening who are, you know, sending in requests to have readings and everything done, you have the ability. You can actually tune in and give readings to people. And you're thinking right now, going, no way. Yes, you can. You know, you have to start somewhere. So where do you start? You know, you can start by listening to someone like this. You start by listening to some of the other shows that are available and finding your niche, finding your area that you love to listen about, or that you go to my Facebook page and you think, okay, what is it she talks about? What is IET? Let's find out about that. What is it about Reiki? What is EFT? What is this emotional freedom technique she talks about? Allow yourself 5 minutes to go and search. And just remember that, you know, we're part of a big picture. Trust yourself, trust your life lessons. Really just say to yourself, stop being agitated with myself and just think, this will all pass. This is all going to happen. It's all literally meant to be. So as we do that, I'm going to finish off by reminding you of the card, time to leave your comfort zone, which I will very much take on board. And also then I'm going to pick a card from the angel blessings, the IET angels. And the card coming up is Angel Faith is blessing you with serenity. So calmness. Just take it in, breathe it in. And I'll be back here again next week, last show from Melbourne. And I look forward to chatting with you all then. So from Melbourne, Sloan, bye.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
Good evening, you're listening to the Modern Mystic Radio Show on A1R Psychic Radio Network and Moonstruck TV. I'm hoping you're having a lovely start to the week. It has been a little bit intense with the full moon energy of last week, so we've had a lot of emotions, a lot of stress, a lot of strain within the readings that I've been doing. So it's something that I have obviously picked up from my clients, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it's all smooth going with you. But if you are experiencing a bit of a fluctuation in the energy, then that will probably be down to that full moon that we've just had. It's been incredibly intense. Right, okay, so I'm going to start with my topic for today, which is how to enhance your psychic abilities. So I've been a psychic as a child, and my earlier experiences were very visual. So what I used to experience was I'd wake up each night when I was around 7 and I would see all of these different faces coming towards me. But there was no communication as such, so I was a little bit stuck in terms of what to do. I didn't know why I was experiencing it, but I would see literally each night hundreds of different faces just flying towards me. And as I got older and started to explore the psychic world a little bit more, you know, really from the age of around sort of 16, 17, that's when I started to get all of my communication coming through. And it's something that has to be worked upon, that has to be developed, and, you know, further enhanced. So we all start off with, you know, quite relatively strong psychic abilities, you know, either in childhood or which obviously then goes into adulthood, but we kind of shut it off. We shut it off because we don't always understand it or accept it. So, you know, quite often we will think of somebody and they will phone. You know, this is an example of, you know, strong intuition, or you'll get a sense or you get a feel around a certain situation. You know, you may be posed with something, you get a negative kind of vibration around it, or, you know, the opposite might, and you get shown a situation in your life or a possible opportunity and you get an incredibly positive vibe around it. So we all have psychic intuition, but it's how to go from perhaps doing, you know, if you're a budding psychic out there, doing, you know, a few card readings, you know, for yourself, to enhancing it and making it stronger and building it into a reading. So how do you do that? How do you go from, you know, just dealing a few cards out, either for yourself or for friends or what have you? So I want to talk through how to start working with your spiritual guides. So this is like first and foremost, and my first ever real experience was back when I was about 7 or 8 with my spiritual guides, and then it dropped. It came back when I was around 13, and then fully came in when I was about 17. So your spiritual guides are also energetic beings, and perhaps even loved ones here that are around you right throughout your life. Now these guides will chop and change, and, you know, depending on what we're doing, work with us in different ways. And quite often, you know, you'll get people within the medical profession that, unbeknown to themselves, you know, actually have like a medical team of spiritual guides actually behind them, assisting them on an intuitive level, you know, where ideas just simply pop into one's head. This is your spiritual guide's way of communicating with you. Okay, so if you feel, you don't necessarily need to know exactly who your spiritual guide is. It's great to, and it's lovely too, but once you start building up that element of communication, this is, you know, you can find those kinds of things out, and there's different ways of doing it. But first and foremost, it's through the practice of focus, of meditation, of, you know, just stilling yourself enough to listen to that quiet voice within. So the trick to this, to develop it, to enhance it, is to start asking your guides lots and lots of questions about whatever it is that you want to look at. So this could be in terms of your spiritual development. It could be something, you know, that you're perhaps going through. It could be absolutely anything. You know, I've asked my guides all manner of questions, even, you know, things on a technical level. So it's about asking and building that communication, a constant thought, constant you know, posing of questions, and remembering that they are there to help and assist you during this lifetime. So you would ask, ideally, questions that are you're not emotionally attached to, because this is an area where we start to fall down. Because I know a lot of people will doubt their spiritual ability. What I do is develop a code, so a series of symbols that they can kind of give you to represent certain things or certain situations, such as, you know, a birthday cake to birthday cup, or, you know, anything like that. So it's about thinking, you know, developing your own language, as it were, with your spiritual guides. Okay, so I have got my first caller here, and this is, I think it's Mary Ann. Can you hear me, Mary Ann?
It's Mary Kay, and yes, I can hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Where are you from?
British Columbia.
Okay, lovely. So thank you very much for joining us. Do you have a question for me, Mary Ann?
I have been having a pretty rough go here, and I just want to know if you see anything maybe is looking a little better than it has been.
Okay, can you repeat that? That seemed to be, I couldn't quite hear all of what you've said.
Okay, I said I've been having a very rough go, and I just wanted to know if things are going to get better. I've had my bank hacked, I've lost my mom, I've separated from my husband, I'm in pain from injuries. Is things going to get better?
Right, okay, let's have a look. So it looks like, it does feel like your life has been going through really, really significant shifts and changes. And even though it feels incredibly destructive, you know, in nature, I feel that fundamentally it's pushing you into, it will be pushing you into a better place. And I feel that, you know, this is stuff that's been going on here for you over the last 2 years. But I feel like this year I get you almost like cracking the code. That's what I'm being told here. And literally redesigning your life. You're being given the opportunity in a roundabout way through all of these misfortunes and changes to recreate and redesign your life. I feel that your vibration has been lifting and has been changing. And it's almost like anything that was, you know, perhaps not all, you know, just, you know, negative things, but you know, anything that was no longer sort of right for you or flowing for you is kind of falling away. This obviously doesn't refer to the people that have passed away. That's not why they're. But I do feel that it's like you've been left to. It's like you've been left to empower, and you've been forced to empower and stand in your own, you know, your own light, if that makes sense.
Right.
Just tuning into your energy. I feel that you are highly sensitive. I feel like you are a natural empath. I feel like you are a natural intuitive. But it seems as though you've had a really rough ride of it during that journey as that sort of sensitive person. I feel here, because you want to know when things are going to start picking up for you.
Yeah.
I want to say from next month onwards, I feel like I've got you finally moving forwards. Okay,
nice.
Where the energy around you seems to be much, much brighter. I feel that it's almost like the energies of the people that have passed here, I've got them sort of stepping in and really showering you with that positivity to help you get through. This is like the biggest. It feels like this is the biggest time of your life, because you're coming from a place of what feels like despair and not knowing what to do, and feeling very lost, into a place of really truly standing on your own 2 feet, but knowing full well that you are going to be landing back on your feet. Okay, and it's not until you've crossed over that bridge and you've landed the other side that you can truly appreciate the journey. There's something here about a house move or something like. Has that happened yet?
No. You think there will be? I mean,
Has that
there's
happened
been thought
yet?
to it.
Okay. I feel like I've got a change of energy around the home that is going to greatly affect your ability to create that life. Does that make sense? So I feel like I've got you being able to start all over again here in one way or another. Now that might not necessarily be a physical move, but at the very least it's going to be a complete change of the energy within your home environment. I feel that there seems, what I'm being told here is that you feel like you've been treated really unfairly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You've been treated very unfairly in a situation, and I don't know whether this is going back into your relationships, but I feel here I get like the balance coming in, where you start getting all the positive stepping in here for you. You are so close to a turning point here with this energy, and what I'm being drawn towards saying is that your intuition, the power of your intuition, is incredibly strong. I want to say also I get more success around money, and I feel like I've got a soulmate energy coming in for you on the relationship side. Okay?
Right.
So don't feel that you're left high and dry. Don't feel that you're not gonna have the happiness. Does that make sense? You feel at the moment there's no happiness, but I feel like I've got you regaining that, and more so, in fact. So what I'm actually seeing you being is, once you've kind of healed and moved through all this sort of like negative sticky energy, you know, I feel like I've got you actually embracing happiness like you've never had before. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to ask?
Has my son or my mum come through with anything?
I know your mother was coming through here, and let's just see. I'm just going to move these out the way and just see if I can just tune into her energy. She was coming through, and she is in your cards, and I feel that if you have not had, I'm very drawn towards the dream world with this, okay? And I feel that I feel like she is trying to connect with you through your dreams. So watch out for that, and the same with your son. But I feel like I feel like they're together, but your mother is the one that is coming through the strongest here. So I feel that it's almost like she's there to guide you. She's very much trying to raise the point that you're not alone. Does that make sense? Even though you feel that you're very much loved, you know, by spirit here. And I feel that she's trying to strengthen you at the moment. And I also feel here there is a gift coming to you. I feel like she wants to thank you for something as well. She's saying thank you here. So I don't know whether you looked after her or you helped her out towards the end here. But I feel like she wants to thank you for what you've given to her, and I feel like she's absolutely, I want to say, safe, at peace in spirit. Yeah. But also very much around you as well. So watch out for those dreams.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, are you happy with that?
I am, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. You take care.
You too. Bye now.
Bye. And now we've got another call. We've got Erica from Kansas. Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can.
Hi, Erica, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm fine.
Okay. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, I was wondering, I have been dealing with some things with my mother, and I just get kind of a little worried about it, and I just
Okay. Okay, so you're worried about your brother, is that right?
My mother, my mom.
Oh, your mother. Okay.
Yes.
You're worried about your mother. Okay. Let's have a look here. Let's just see what I've got for you. Right. So what I get here, is this some sort of health issue as well around this?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Sorry, is there some sort of health issue around this as well?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because that's the first thing I get here around the situation, is there is some sort of health-related issue. However, what I feel with this is it's almost like she does, I feel like she does need the support, she does need, I feel like I've got decisions coming in around her, because what I feel here is almost like a bit of a slower process here in terms of things improving for her, but I have got an improvement for her. Okay. So it feels as though I've got lots of people. It's almost like I don't know whether it's a medical team, but I feel like I've got lots of people around her giving her the advice and the guidance that she kind of needs. But I feel here that you're like really, you're worried that something negative is going to happen with this situation. And I feel like I've got stability coming in around her. I'm getting the month of September as being quite strong for her. So like I said, we have got improvement, so just bear with it and try and keep, I want to say try and keep positive, because I feel like I've got her working her way through this. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. I hope so, yes.
And I have got light at the end of the tunnel as well. Okay? So it's a bit of a long journey, this one, but I feel that I feel like you're going to be able to not worry as much, you know, over the next few months here with her. So whatever she's going through on the health front, I feel is going to be, I feel like I get a positive outcome here with this. And yes, it's been weighing on you, but I feel that I get with you a happy vibration coming in, but you know, don't worry if it takes a little bit longer than you would like to see.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Okay.
And
right, well, I'm going to have to leave it there.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you so much for coming through.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you. And off she goes. Now, thank you so much for coming through to me tonight. It's been wonderful to hear from you. If you want to get hold of me, you can do via my website, which is www.modern-mystic.co.uk. You can also find me on Facebook with through Modern Mystic or Mystic Sarah. And you can catch me on UK TV as well, which is Psychic Today, if you are based over here, and you can look it up on the internet and watch it online too. So I'm wishing you a fabulous evening, a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you same time next week. Bye for now.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom.
Tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Hello, everyone. I'm Colleen Vanderzijden, and this is Creating an Inspired Life. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. We are going to have a great show. I've got a really good coaching tip planned, and I hope you can get something out of that. My passion is to help you live your best, your most unique, your most awesome, inspired life. And I do that in a couple of different ways. One as a medium, connecting with our loved ones on the other side, and the other way is as a spiritual life coach. And every week on this show, I give a coaching tip to help you live your best life. And today's coaching tip is a big one. I think they all are, actually. I always say something like that. But this one is how to stay positive when you're surrounded by negative people. And I'm sure you've experienced this, because I don't know if anybody has not experienced that. And when you have a negative person around you that you're talking to or whatever, they can really drain your energy, and you start to feel real tired after you've talked to them. And they may complain about all sorts of things. I had a friend once who I would say something like, boy, it's a beautiful day today, and she would say, it looks like it's going to rain, or it's too hot, or it's too cold. Or we'd eat some food, and I'd be like, oh, this is pretty good. And she's like, oh, no, it's too chewy, it's too dry, it doesn't have flavor. You know, there's always something wrong with it. And with these kind of people, they're always negative. That's just the way it is. It can be about anything: weather, politics, your house, your car, your shoes, your clothes, whatever. And somebody could even say something, and they will also come back with a negative comment. And frequently, these people are also very critical of other people, and they like to point out what's wrong with them. Boy, I'm sure you've experienced this, but boy, do you ever notice how it affects your energy? When these people are so negative, it's really, really draining. But when the energy is directed at us in a critical, bullying way, it's really hard for us to handle, because it starts to beat down on us, and we start to feel badly about ourselves. We start to lose our self-confidence. We start to lose self-esteem. We start to lose joy. And it can be very hard for us to do this. And when I have someone around me like that, I get very tired and I get irritable, and it just ruins your day. These people, they can be friends, colleagues, relatives, family. They can be coworkers, classmates, acquaintances. They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. So what can we do to stop them from affecting us? And the very first thing to do, and this is a very obvious thing, and I'm sure everybody has thought about this, but it's removing your physical proximity to them, just getting away from them as much as you can. Now, this works well for people that you don't see very much, or they're just acquaintances, but for your family, coworkers, colleagues, that kind of thing, it's a little bit harder to get away from them. So what you want to do instead is to limit your time to the absolute minimum you have to do in order to carry on whatever it is, your family life, your work life, whatever it can be. I found that this works very well. And from past experience, I can tell how much time I can put up with somebody. So one person, I know I can barely take an hour, and I'm just like, oh, just want to jump off a bridge or something. Another person, I can make it a couple days before they really start to negatively impact me. And even with this, even with having a time limit on how much time you're going to spend with people who are challenging and difficult, I have to come up with some mental preparation. I have to come up with some kind of protection, especially something that can be there on the days when I'm tired or the days I'm not as mentally strong. And we all have those days where we don't feel well or we're just tired. And then somebody says something and it just really ruins our day and how we feel. So I've come up with some ways to develop a stronger habitual energy that you can use within yourself. And you have to make it kind of a habit. So it has to become something you think about pretty regularly so that you can use these ideas. Once you do this, you'll be able to allow those negative comments to fall off, roll off you a little bit more easily. Now, there are two key beliefs that you must be aware of that kind of help as well. And one of them is you don't want to take other people's opinions personally or as a fact. People say things and they think they're speaking the truth, and they may not be. And frequently, if they're negative people, they're probably not speaking the truth. So you have to learn how to separate from them and not take what they say personally or as a fact. The other thing that's very important, the other awareness that you need to have, is that people are the way they are. You can't change them. The only thing you can change are your thoughts, your beliefs, and your own emotions. You cannot change another person. Their problems are not your problems. Their negativity is not your negativity. Their opinions are not your opinions. Now, these people, when you realize that you can't change them, you can accept them for who they are. And if they're mean, critical jerks, then accept them for that. Once you do that, it makes it a little bit easier to handle them. Frequently, these people are insecure, and they like to put other people down because it makes them feel as though they're in control. It makes them feel superior. It makes them feel as though they just feel better, I guess, by putting other people down. And when I was thinking about this quite a bit over the course of my life here, why do we let other people who are insecure, mean, critical jerks affect us? Why do we do that? And they shouldn't be affecting our energy at all. Once we know who they are, that's who they are, it's so much easier to discount what they're saying and let it go, not let it affect us so much. You don't want to give your power to them, and when you respond emotionally to something someone has said, you're actually giving some of your energetic power to them, making them stronger. So if you realize this is the way they are, just keep your power to yourself. Don't share. Don't give it to them at all. That way you won't be able to be affected as strongly by their negativity. So you've got two things here. One is limiting time, and then the other one is accepting who they are. Now, the next thing that's very important in this is, because you have to have a strong inner being for yourself as well, is you have to know who you are. Are you a mean, critical person too? Like these people? I would assume you're not. But if you are, you want to let that go. If they're mean to you and you're mean back to them, that's not helping the situation at all. So you want to stop doing that if that's anything you're doing, and make more positive choices. You want to decide who you are, what kind of person you are, what characteristic, what value is important to you. How do you want to live your life? Do you want to live your life being a kind person? Do you want to live your life being someone who demonstrates love to everyone? Do you want to be somebody who is very peaceful? There are so many values and characteristics you can use in your life. And once you decide which one you might like to use, you choose to respond to every situation, every person, the mean ones and the nice ones, in that way. So if you're going to respond with kindness, you're going to respond with kindness to everyone, no matter if they're nice or not. This doesn't mean you have to roll over and take mean comments when somebody throws something at you. If you want to speak up, and you just speak right up and let them have it. Okay, so that means to acknowledge it, but you recognize who they are, and then you're going to let that go. Now, that's one of the ways you can be living true to yourself, to recognize the value characteristic that's important to you. I like to label it with one word because then I can remember it. You know, it's an easy one. You don't want to do 10 of them at once. You want to pick one. Just pick one. Love, kindness, whatever it can be. And what happens is it shifts your thoughts to a more positive perspective. And when you do that, you're protecting yourself from the negativity. So this is a good way to do it. Now, you can change the word. You know, if you start living by love and you think, you know, I'd rather live by peace instead, or I'd rather live by compassion, you can do that too, whatever you want. I wouldn't change it every hour or something. You know, go like a day or a week or something and try it out. Another thing you can do to live true to yourself is to recognize what brings you joy, what makes you happy, what do you love doing. And what you want to do is spend as much time as you can doing those things. No matter what anyone says to you, anybody puts you down, you just keep doing your thing. You're the one that's going to make yourself happy. Your opinion is the only opinion that matters. And if you focus on the happy parts, the things that make you happy, if you make choices that move you towards happiness and towards your dream, what you may find out is that your life is so full that you will not have room in your mind or any place else to allow this negativity to get into your life. So if you can stick with that, that will help. Now, I love to talk about this topic because we've all experienced bullying and criticism and judgments, and we've all had those times where we feel badly because of somebody else and what they've said towards us and what they've directed at us. So just a little review here, because I like reviewing. We want to take steps, okay? We want to limit the time as much as you can, reasonably. Of course, sometimes it's hard to do. But if that's the case, the next thing, too, is you want to make sure that you recognize that these people are not going to change. They will never change. That's the way it is. So a long time ago, I used to do this game when somebody was a jerk to me. I would do this game, and I would try to figure out why they were such a jerk. So I would say things to myself like, oh, you know, obviously their mother didn't love them. That has to be it. Or I would go on a crazy thing and say, oh, they must have been attacked by a giraffe or something, and that's why they hate all living beings. And when I would do this, it would make me laugh first, because I would try to get really crazy and get some strange stuff in there. Because as I laughed, it was so much easier to not take their opinions personally. It was so much easier to just go, well, they obviously have an issue, and it's based on whatever random thought I had come up with. And then it was easier to let it go. Another benefit of that, though, was that I was able to look at them more compassionately, because let's just think about this. If somebody's that negative and they're a jerk, they must not have a really good life. It can't be that fulfilling. So I could see them in a little bit of a different light and recognize that their life may not be the greatest life. And it was easier, again, to let these things go. So you're going to limit your time. You're going to accept who they are. You're going to decide who you are, what value, characteristic is important to you, and you're going to live it. You're going to be it. You're going to respond to everything with that energy. And I tell you, it will make a huge difference. You're going to stay true to your joy. You're going to live your dream, making choices based on your dream, no one else's dream. And you're going to end up living your life on your terms, not on someone else's. And that is my coaching tip of the day. And you can find me at psychicmediumcolleen.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Medium Coach Colleen Vanderzijden. And feel free to let me know. I would like to hear your jerk stories, if you have any, about some of the situations you've had. I love to hear these things, because maybe I'll use them for another show. Okay, so we're going to move on for our first caller, who is Rebecca from Florida. Rebecca, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Is there something in particular I can help you with, or are you looking for a general kind of reading?
General.
Okay. I have a gentleman who's... Go ahead, sorry?
I said life in general.
Life in general? Yes.
Yeah, kind of upside down.
Yeah, I tell you, this is a time where so many people are having turmoil and confusion right now. It's really something. I do like to connect with people on the other side, and I do have a gentleman who comes in who would like to connect with you. And this person feels as though he doesn't feel as old as I want him to be, okay? So he feels more middle-aged, maybe 50s, that area. He is giving me some stuff going on in my throat area. I'm not convinced it's him or if he's giving me your energy on that one. Are you having a lot of suppressing of emotions going on right now, trying to keep things under control? Oh, okay. Yes. Sometimes they'll show me stuff for them, sometimes for you, but it felt more like you, not him. This gentleman, I have to say, I do like this man. He tells me his life wasn't always easy, and he tells me that he passed quite suddenly. Did you have a gentleman that you know who would have passed quite suddenly in his 50s or so? Oh, okay. And did he have some difficulties in his life? Because it feels like it's kind of up and down with him.
Give me the fucking phone. Give me the fucking phone now.
Yeah, okay. So there's all sorts of interesting things going on with him. I do feel did you have a good relationship with him? Because I feel a lot of love coming in for you, but I'm also feeling a bit of apology coming in.
Yes.
Okay. It feels as though he's given me the impression he wishes he could have done more for you, that he wishes he could have been there for you. And I'm not convinced that it's anything that he did. It's just that feeling of wanting to help take care of you. He tells me not to worry so much about what's going on. Okay, he's telling me that things are going to work out okay. Boy, he's giving me all sorts of stuff going on with your life, though, right now. Do you have a relationship issue going on as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and what about the job issue? We have a job issue, too?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you've got some good stuff happening. Not at all. Okay, so one thing at a time. Okay, so we're going to stick with the job for just a few minutes. Here, not even a few minutes, a few seconds. We're going to go to the job for a few, and I'm not feeling that if you have a job that is very fulfilling. Do you have a job now?
I don't have a job right now.
Okay, because I'm not feeling fulfilling. That explains that. Okay. Now, I want to jump over to the relationship, and I'll be back to the job in a second, I assume. Just by what he's showing me. He's telling me that this is what I feel like. I feel like we need to take a step back in the relationship and breathe and figure out what it is we're really looking for. Okay? We need to figure this out. I'm feeling all sorts of uncertainty, lots of questions, lots of looking ahead too far, okay? And you need to come back and get back into the now, the present moment, and just focus on what's happening right now. Because when you get too far ahead of yourself, that's when things start going crazy in your mind. And it'll get harder and harder and harder because you're letting your emotions get taken away based on something that may or may not happen, okay? So we need to step back and take a breath. And with this breath, I feel there's some clarity with that, where all of a sudden things are easier for you to understand, okay? Are you still communicating with your relationship person?
I'm married to him, and I don't want to be.
Yeah, I don't mean to laugh. That sounded really bad. But I understand where you are. Okay? I understand where you are. Because there seems to be this place of breathing space to figure out what's going on. Okay, so I recommend, based on what he's showing me, to take that time. There is no rush, okay? So take your breathing space, figure it out, do what you have to do. He's more concerned about you being happy, okay? You don't have to continue doing something, trying to make something work if it's not right for you. Okay, and I'm not telling you what to do, okay? I'm not going to tell you to do anything. But that's what he's telling me. He wants you to do what's going to make you happy, okay? And I think the breathing space will be helpful because it'll give you some time to just, I really have to figure out what I want. He's also talking about you journaling, so I want to make sure I mention that. If you're not writing your thoughts down, make sure you do, because it's really easy to look back and then see, okay, I've written the same thing for, 16 weeks. I got to take care of this, and that will help you make decisions on what you have to do to move forward. Now, the job situation, I do want to touch on that before I get to my next caller. The job situation, I do feel you looking for something, okay? I feel a job coming in. It does not feel as though it's the top choice, shall we say. It feels like it will do. It's going to be a job that will do, and that's fine. Take a job that will do, because you need that feeling, you need that security, you need that schedule, okay, of having that plan. So something will be coming up, okay, and fairly soon, actually, within the next few months, easily, okay? So, whew, goodness me. Yes, okay, this man, before I let him go, he's telling me how much he loves you, and he wants me to encourage you and tell you it's going to be okay, and he's got your back, basically, okay? So he's going to be helping you out from the other side. They do like to do that. So he will be helping you out from the other side.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to have to let you go so I can move on to my next person. But thank you so much, Rebecca, and I wish you the best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much. You were right on point. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay, and that was Rebecca in Florida, and now we're going to move to Agopi in Ontario, Canada. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did I even say your name anywhere close?
Close. Agapi.
Agapi? Sorry.
Okay.
What can I do?
It's okay. It's a hard one.
I kind of like it, though. It feels like a love name to me. It has that love vibration to it. Now, is there something in particular you're looking for tonight, or just whatever comes in?
Well, my uncle just passed away 2 weeks ago, and we weren't talking at that time. It was a shock to the family, so I'm just wondering if there's any messages, and even if it's too early.
I've had people come in who had literally just passed, like the day before. And so they can come in if they want to. Now, I'm going to describe a man, and we'll see if it is him. He does feel like an uncle to me, but if it doesn't sound like him, then it won't be him, okay? So we won't try to make it fit, okay? But this man, do you happen to know, I feel him on the taller, well, of course you know this part, but the next part you won't know, maybe. I feel him on the taller side, okay? 5'10", 5'11". Was he on the taller side?
Yeah.
Okay, now did he happen to have, do you happen to know if he had something going on in his lower back, in the hip area, kidney area, that kind of thing?
I wouldn't know that.
Okay, because I'm feeling a bit of that with him. I'm getting an interesting personality with him, because I can see like two different sides of him. Okay, I can see he can be quite charming, and I can see he can be a little bit more not charming. How was that for tactful? Because I can see there's... Okay, I can see some charisma with him that is very lovely, but it only comes out at certain times. He does feel as though he's rather up and down as well. Emotionally. And, I do believe that I do have him here. And as I'm talking to him... Okay, as I touch in with him even closer, I feel him coming in, and I feel a certain sense of frustration before he passes. Okay, I feel as though things weren't going so well before he passes. Do you know if he was having some problems before he passes?
We weren't talking.
So you don't really know that. Okay, maybe somebody else will know. He's got... there's a lot of energy with him about not really wanting to let people in so well. Also, a lot of energy of protecting himself. I don't feel as though he shared a lot with a lot of people. So I don't feel as though people really knew what was going on in his head sometimes. It's like he protects himself. He's hiding himself. There's a lot of, I want to call it self-esteem here, where I feel as though he's very sensitive, and that's how he hides it, by keeping himself to himself. He gives me the impression he passes boy, with very little warning, like none. And he's also given me the impression that there were some things left unsaid and not finished. Okay, he gives me the impression there's paperwork that's not finished. That things he should have had them a little bit more under control, but they're not. Okay, he's also talking about he wants to apologize for having caused people pain, because he gives me the impression that there were some situations, obviously you said that you guys weren't talking, but there's more than just that. But he wants to apologize for that because he says he was unreasonable. He says he was illogical, and he apologizes for that. In his brief, yes, and his brief time on the other side, I can tell there has been some evolution, because his energy is not the same as it was when he was in the physical. You know, he shows me that, but it's not the same. And he tells me, too, that he feels so much better. He really feels so much better. He feels like protected now and safe. It's important for him to feel safe. And he's telling you to please share with your family, his family, everyone, how much he truly does love everyone. And he's so sorry he did not say these things before he passed. He said he was stupid, okay? So he said he was stupid, and he should not have been that way. And he is so sorry for that. And he, more than anything in the world right now, I'm getting so strongly now, like my whole body is actually tingling. He wants me to make sure I tell you how much he loves everyone, and it is so important to him if you could share that with everyone.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Good. Okay. Now, yes, he's in a lovely place right now. Okay. And he says he wants to thank you, too, for allowing him to come in and talk with you today. Okay, so I'm going to have to let you go because I'm running out of time. I'm so sorry, but it was so nice talking to you.
Thank you.
And I'm so sorry to hear about him passing, too.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yes, okay, goodbye. And that was Agape from Canada. And I'm Colleen van der Zijden, and this is Creating an Inspired Life. And isn't it amazing how our spirits will come in to help provide hope and healing to us? Now this week, remember just to protect yourself from those jerks out there. You don't need their energy. Keep your own energy. It'll be so much better for you. And thank you so much for listening. You can reach me at psychicmediumcolleen.com and on Facebook, Medium Coach Colleen van der Zijden. And I will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Hi, I'm Ron, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio on Moonstruck TV. Enlightening television.
Hello everyone, this is Fiona. Surgeon Medium, I am Power. So, hope you guys had a fantastic, nice, beautiful day and evening. And just relaxing and closing your eyes and thinking to the tomorrow, which is going to be the best ever morning, day, and evening as well, or even better than today. So, how about when we feel down, tired, or feeling like no energy left, a little bit anxiety back and forth, feeling not really good. I feel like something is definitely wrong. I don't know what is that. I can't even find it. I don't know. What's going on? Well, it sounds to be very similar, huh? So what you have to do, and I would love to suggest you, close your eyes for the moment. When you feeling that something is definitely wrong, but you don't know exactly what you have to do, and in order to get rid of these things, okay? What you can do, actually, the first you are telling to yourself, everything you could possibly need is already here and waiting for you. You are telling to yourself, everything I could possibly need is already here and waiting for me. So you are not feeling down, sad, disconnected, or uncomfortable about anything. Number 2, try to feel that there is more love that you could possibly experience from every single person or everywhere. I do understand if you feel that, oh, what do you mean love? My boss today just gave me a hard time. Oh, my colleague today, oh my God, she was like such a, and I would just say, well, I do understand you completely, but how about like if you just again closing your eyes and telling yourself there is more love that you could possibly experience, and tomorrow is going to be the new day, and it's going to be much more love that you ever could experience than today. Then there is more joy that you can imagine. True, there is absolutely more joy that you can imagine. The wood actually, or the vault, has everything you need and absolutely desire. You should remind yourself that there is a lot ongoing around you that make you possibly feel that you are connected, and you would absolutely get into it. Like exactly what you can hear, my phone. Well, you know what? I'm not distracted by that. I know I just forgot about to just shut it down, or just put it on the silent. But you know what? I'm not going to get distracted because my focus is about to tell you what you have to do to get rid of your anxiety and feeling of lost. And that's why I'm not distracted by anything. That is exactly who you are when you feel disconnect from world, from your own world. So you're not letting anyone and anybody distract you from anything. Example, no matter what you choose to feel or believe or think or say, the universe says yes to you. So this is also very important to remember. No matter what you choose to feel, believe, think, or say, the universe says yes to you all the time. So this is very important that you're not allowing anyone, anything, and anybody, like my phone, distract you that what I said to you right now in the moment. Do not waste your time on negative thinking and negative subject. This is very important. No matter what other people says, doing, done, going, you are not really wasting your time on thinking or having any sort of connection to negative subject. At the end, you are grateful and happy to be one with universal wisdom and be backed by universal power. So what you have to do, you have to listen to your heart and close your eyes and feel yourself as the most happiest, wealthiest, healthiest, and nicest, kindest person in the earth. Do it when you feel down and feel that you are in a dark spot. Okay? So back to studio, guys, and you are guys listening to Fiona. Here we go. And my favorite station, A1R Psychic Radio. I have a caller. I have Samantha. Hello, Samantha. How are you doing? From Florida. How are you doing, Samantha?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. Samantha, give me your date of birth, sweetheart, and then tell me about your question. Go ahead, darling.
My birthday is January 1st of 92.
Okay. Okay, sweetheart. Now, tell me about your concern and what you have in your beautiful mind. Share it with me and with our audience, and let's see what I can help you with the guidance and everything. Go ahead.
Can I just get like a future guidance?
Okay, so when we are talking about, Samantha, when we are talking about future guidance, that means many things. It's future guidance about love and relationship, future guidance about money, financial, future guidance about parenting, or kind of like your parents, your family problems. Future guidance means anything and everything.
Definitely
or your money,
family.
financial. Family. Okay,
Definitely
so that means
family.
that.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So, what make you to feel to have that question? The reason that I'm asking you, because of a couple things that I found on your Pentagon right now, and that's why I want to actually get that point, or actually go to that point anytime soon with you. Why you feel that you want to know about your family future something? Is it something lately that making you to feel a little bit unstable or feeling kind of worried and concerned that maybe something is on the way to happen that you just strongly feel that you need to have some guidance on, or just like, I need to know if it's going to happen, so I have to make myself ready? So what makes you to feel this way, sweetheart? This is important for me to know.
Well, there is a current situation with my cousin and her child, and the father of the child. There's just many, many concerns about him and whether or not he's capable of being a good father. He's been violent towards her. I'm just very, very concerned for the safety of her, the children that she already has, and the new baby that she has had.
Okay. So you are basically concerned about like that if the court or judge or whomever actually going to make a decision, going to say that yes, of course she can see the father, but you guys knew or knows from the past that he's not even capable or not having any sort of ability or responsibilities towards this girl. So you are guys concerned about her. So basically you are worried about like, what if he's going to have the permission or anything in regard to just talking and connecting with his own child, or actually his own girl. Okay, I understand that, but let me tell you one thing, honey. You are asking about them, and now I can see it in the Pentagon that you are concerned about them. How are they connected to you? Like, are you connected to the mom of the beautiful girl, or how they are connected to you?
Yes, I'm connected to the mother.
Like a blood connection, or it's kind of like a friendship?
It's kind of like our mothers were best friends, and we were raised as cousins.
Okay, so some sort of best friend connection, but actually developed somehow that you guys had some sort of, kind of like a soulmate feelings that you just guys caring too much about each other. Well, the one thing that you should know about that kind of the specific situation, the first things that I would say that the father going to be well behaved. Reason could be a couple things, because that's what I'm asking you, like, how do you know those family or actually the person in the question? When I can see it in your Pentagon that you're concerned about this little girl, so I would definitely tell and suggest you to drop it and not have been concerned, because he is going to be well behaved. The father would not actually show or actually use any violation, because he knows that there is a lot of eyes around, and beside on that, he knows that if he's going to be stupid or doing stupid things towards this little girl, then things is not going to go the way that he wants or wish for. And that's what it sounds like, that he actually got his lesson, and he's not going to do the same. So that's why I wanted you to just really drop your worriness and concern about anything that has to do with this little girl. How old is she?
23.
Okay. So when you are worried about that the father is going to actually kind of like getting into her? Is it like that you are concerned about sexually as well, or is it just about a matter of hitting her, or just like, you know, using violation?
Just completely not respectful of anyone. He's been told not to go to her home, has showed up, pushed his way into the house. I mean, he's choked her out, like just stuff like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just not someone that you want around.
I know exactly
not
what you
someone
mean.
you want to help raise a baby.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what I'm trying to basically tell you, sweetheart, when we're talking about this family, God bless them, and my prayer is always going to be after them, but there is nothing to be concerned. He's not going to show any kind of craziness or stupidness that trying to push this family down more than actually he did already. So that means that they are going to be protected, and if anything and everything had happened, or at just they, you know, found something that they had to really talk to someone or so, then they need to take on action. But right now, or in the nearest future, when I actually look into the Pentagon and see about like in between now until 2 months, in between now to 3 months, in between now to 6 months, in between now to a year, if anything is going to happen to this family because of him, if he's going to be or actually using any sort of violation or anything in regards to the Pentagon telling me about, the answer is no, then that means that they are going to be safe, especially this girl is going to be safe and secure. So that's not going to be any problem. And the other things that I can see actually on your Pentagon also, it sounds like that you are going to win over some situation. I don't know what you are waiting for. It could be some news, or it could be some answer that should come to trying to verify some money or some unexpected money, which also actually standing in your left side of your Pentagon, which also is telling about prosperity and your abundance. That means that perfect, everything is just going to be exactly as you wish. When we are talking about around the July 10, July 23rd, and August 11. So those dates actually it became very strongly in your Pentagon, which would make me feel very happy. So I feel very good, Samantha, about your reading or about your Pentagon. There is no red flags or any down things that I have to or should warning you about it. Health-wise, everything is good. Besides that, you need to just really do more, maybe exercise or actually using muscles more. Sounds like that your body needs to really have some action, and or getting into some activity. And other than that, money-wise, looks great. Family-wise, actually, you are going to have a power around, which people are going to listen to you, and you are going to have credit and love around them, which is very awesome. And when we are talking about your future, then there in between now until 6 months, then there is absolutely no red flags, no bad things, and nothing to be concerned. So congrats. It sounds to be very good, honey. And I will pray for this beautiful family. You are very welcome, Samantha. Have a great one, and talk to you soon. Okay, guys, back to the studio, and you are guys listening to me, Fiona, Persian Medium, I Am Power, and A1R Psychic Radio. So I have Esther. Hello, Esther. How are you doing? From Colorado. Hello. Yeah, I think that, yes, we lost her right now. Don't worry about it. Actually, she is coming back in no time. Okay, so, well, as you guys just heard me about that when me and Samantha are talking about the little bit of worriness and concern about the family, I know it's kind of like devastating. It's kind of like very sad that you should feel that you can't even trust the father of the baby, or you know, the mother of the baby, or actually someone that actually, you know, make this baby come to the world. And it's kind of like so sad that you can feel that this person is just trying to use violation and hitting the baby, doing things. It's just very sad. You know, I don't understand why They should have been do that. And I'm definitely sure the problem is not the baby. The problem is them. The problem is their insecurities, anxieties, and a lot of problems and craziness that they had in their childhood. And they need definitely actually have some help. So now I have Esther back. Hello, honey. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing a little sick, but I'm okay.
Oh,
I like to know about my health.
Yes. Okay. Esther, darling, I need to have your date of birth, sweetheart, and then tell me what you have in your beautiful mind and what I can do for you. Go ahead, sweetheart.
Okay. My birthday is May 9th, 1951, and I'm worried about my health. Just I've been having problems with my stomach.
Is that was lately or kind of like for how long you just have that kind of the stomach problem?
I had it for a while, but it just got worse in the last 3 months.
Okay. Esther, for the past 3 months, did you try to relax or just not stress yourself or not getting emotion? You know that a lot of tummy problems, stomach problems, actually digestive problems is just coming from not sleeping good, not having a good feelings and connection to your own body and yourself, and not drinking and eating correctly. And basically when you are in an anxiety mood and not feeling all right, then you don't have any desire to eat and drink and sleep. So past 3 months, sweetheart, how was your life past? If you're going to just tell me, describe your life for the past 3 months, what should you do? What should you say?
Well, I had to move out of my condo because I cannot afford repairs. And I'm moving with my daughter and I'm doing all the housework, and she's having a baby. I'm going to be taking care of the baby. And I'm 66 years old. I don't think I could take care of all that. And my stomach is partially paralyzed. So I don't digest.
And you feel that you are kind of enough old, but now you have to take care of the, grandchildren and other things, and you don't know about the unknown place, the way that you're going to be, how you are going to be, and kind of like, basically your life been very stressful past 3 months. Well, not actually make me to be kind of shocked to say like, oh, Esther, why you have a digestive problem or, stomach problem. It's very obvious. So much stress and so much anxiety. Reason, Esther, because you are living in your past or in your future, better say, past and future, because you have both depression and you are desperate and you feel anxiety. All three is just because, first, you're living in your past because you may blame yourself that I could do better, that not really completely, and you just lost some place that because you don't know what's going to happen. The first things that you can't control over your situation physically is about that you don't have enough money. You can't have your home back because there's not enough money. You couldn't even pay that. You can't even argue or doing something with your daughter either because you have to follow through at least that you have some place to live because you have to help them and all those stuff. So you don't have any other choices besides that you accept the unknown energies that may scare you already, that even you feel kind of disconnect to yourself. What you have to do, stop living in your past, which is actually going to blame, or actually you're blaming yourself too much on, and stop living in the future, which you just feel about like, I don't know what's going to happen in between me and them, and actually money and financial. Psychically, I can tell you all your problems when we are talking about money, financial, health, tummy, digesting, or any kind of like a problem like that. And I wanted you to stop thinking, Esther, that, oh, maybe my tummy problem or things that I know your worriness and I know your sadness. About the money and financial, Esther, look into your pentagon.
August the 23rd.
Okay, so that is perfect. So that means that your life is just completely going to change, sweetheart. And something very good, something very nice. It sounds like even this beautiful baby sitting and guessing. I know that you are even concerned about your daughter as well. And like, is everything going to be all right with her, with the baby? And if I am going to be all right to be together with them? Well, answer to your question is yes. Esther.
Okay. All right.
Believe in yourself, sweetheart. And stay away
thank you so much for your... Thank you.
Awesome, Esther. Awesome. Have a great one, darling. And remember, again, tomorrow is a new day, baby. And every day actually has a very strong, beautiful, and perfect. Okay? God bless you.
Great.
And God bless your daughter. God bless the new baby that is actually going to come. We are already going to welcome, actually an early welcome to her or him. So everything is going to be all right. So have a great one. Much love to you. And take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, sweetheart. You're very welcome, gorgeous. Bye-bye, sweetheart. Okay, guys, I don't have so much time. I have just 60 seconds to say thank you so much for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so thankful, grateful for A1R Psychic Radio. I'm thankful, grateful for my audience. I am thankful and grateful for tomorrow. That's going to be the new show at actually 8 o'clock, 8 Pacific time. For more information, guys, you can go to a1r.com and actually reading more about me. And you guys can find me on keen.com as Fiona, Persian Medium. I am Power. Have a great one. Bye-bye, guys.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. My name is Josie Curcio and I'll be your host for today. I'm in beautiful Sydney in Australia and I'm an international psychic intuitive reader and teacher. So I'm really nervous, but at the same time I'm really excited. I haven't done this before and I'm totally looking forward to share all the interesting topics and some of the guests that I'm going to have in the next few weeks, and also the free readings that we can do. How cool is that? Did you know that you can get free readings today? All you need to do is go onto the A1R Psychic Radio Facebook page and like the video, which is live right now. So all you need to do is you need to like it and then inbox them your details and they'll link you in with me live. And so we can do those. We're probably going to do a little bit at the end of the show because I would like to chit chat with you guys about pretty much what I do, you know, what makes my heart sing, what do I love to do for work, and I'm a little bit different than everybody else. So let's do a really short introduction first. I have been doing the spiritual path of this work for the last 17 years, which is pretty much a long time for some people. And along the way, I have collected little things, you know, as you do when you really focus on your path, you kind of focus on the growth. And so when you do that, you're kind of learning different things, you're shaping yourself differently, you're going, oh, I used to do that, but that doesn't suit my purpose anymore. I'm going to change it. So along the way, I've learned different things. And some of them are, obviously I became quite a strong clairvoyant. I already had a really good intuition. That's why I call myself an intuitive psychic. Everything I do is based on my intuition. I don't only do it for work, I actually do it in my life as well. 24/7, kind of really tuning in, because I have learned that even though sometimes you might be alone in a room, you're actually not lonely. We are surrounded by beautiful beings and we are surrounded by our purpose. You know, they're constantly directing us. So that's why I call myself an intuitive psychic. So along the way, in the last 17 years, I developed that intuition and I learned to make it a little bit sharper and a little bit stronger. And so now I can actually say when I do my readings that I am a clairvoyant, I am a clairsentient, and I am a clairaudience. What does that mean? That means that I can actually see, hear, and feel messages during a session. I'm also a little bit of a bitter with other things. So along the way, I've learned advanced numerology, and that was a random thing that kind of happened to me over 10 years ago. A client of mine at the time started telling me about numerology and gave me a quick reading on my birthday. So numerology is based on your birthday, but there are so many layers of that. So I got so curious, I couldn't believe how accurate this friend of mine was. I ended up studying it for 2 years. And there's layers and layers and layers. So I would love to share that with you today, and a little segment of that every single time we do the show. The other thing I do that I gel quite beautifully with numerology is colour therapy. We, again, another thing that I got randomly introduced to. I used to work as a manager at plenty of retail stores because I used to love colours. And at the time I wasn't feeling very well and I was very attracted to a specific colour. Couldn't get enough. And this client of mine, randomly again, another lady, told me that the reason why we like certain colours is because we're trying to get some healing from that colour. I went, what? And again, she was spot on about what I was going through. So I sparked an interest for me to learn about colour therapy. So today I would love to share some insights in regard to that as well. Let's learn what we can do with colours. As you know, we're surrounded by colours, we wear colours, we love colours, and also we dislike colours. And that's the best part, because that's the part where I can help you understand why we dislike colours. There is an emotional disconnection, believe it or not, to when we don't like colours, and sometimes really passionately dislike it. So those are the kind of things that I can actually introduce to you, and it's really, really interesting. And again, everything I do is to help you find your purpose. You know, why are you here? Why did you reincarnate and come back on this life? You know, are you a young soul? Are you an old soul? There is a reason why we are here, and wouldn't it be wonderful to figure that out? You know, there is times where we feel so stuck, and that is because we are not really truly following our purpose. Sometimes we get lost in the duties that we feel we need to have, you know, with the daughter off, with the sister off, with the wife off, or being really connected to work and only focus on work, and we kind of lose that inner purpose. So that's some of the things that I can do for you. The other thing that I can do as well is I started my journey with the healing touch of massages, and while I was learning, I decided to actually get a diploma in aromatherapy, and I bumped into this lovely lady who created this gorgeous, I want to see if you guys can see it, beautiful aromatherapy cards. So each card represents an oil, and I started playing with them. As a matter of fact, that is how I got into readings. I wasn't planning to become a reader, I just wanted to become a massage therapist, and at the time I did Reiki as well, being a healer. And by grabbing these cards and playing and mucking around with them. So I was just allowing the client who came in to get a massage to grab a couple of cards and mix the oil into their blend. And because I studied everything there is to know about essential oils, in the olden times, essential oils were not just used for the physical body, but they were also used for their emotional being and for their spiritual being. They're fantastic for grieving, they're fantastic for protecting your energy, they invigorate, they can sedate, they're great. And I love the colours because I do colour therapy as well, so I love the colours. So we can definitely do some reading and use them today. And while I'm at it, since I showed you the aromatherapy cards, I'm going to show you these amazing colour cards that I also use in my colour readings. So today we can actually do that as well. So how fun is that? So definitely get into that, if you want your reading, get into sharing the video, which is live at the moment, inbox the A1R Psychic Radio and let them know that you're interested. And you know, the other thing that you can do as I'm talking and chit-chatting, because you know, I've become a little bit of a chatterbox in regard to what I love doing, as I'm chatting and you perhaps have a question or you might want to know about something, you can write that down and you can connect with us today or you can connect with us next time in the next show. Feel free to connect with me privately as well if you want to go onto my Facebook page, which is Josie Curcio, Inner Light Therapies. That's my business name. I'll repeat that, Inner Light Therapies, and you can just send me a little quick message. Perhaps there could be something that you guys want me to discuss a little bit more in details for next time, and I would love to do that. That's pretty much what I do. So let's see where they want me to go. And I'm saying let's see where they want me to go because, again, I'm not alone. You know, I'm connecting to my own beings and my guides, and I'm connecting to yours, and so I get guided. So let's see, I think we might talk about numerology first. So with numerology, I've already explained to you really briefly that it's based on your birthday. So every single digit of your birthday, what we do is we add it all together until we come up with one digit. And I can show you that perhaps with the next reading. I can go into more details. But what I really think I need to sort of focus on is we can also do numerology to help the world, to help everybody around us at the moment. So you know how we have the Oriental Zodiac, where every year we might be in the year of the dragon, or we might be in the year of the ox or the rooster. Numerology kind of works that way as well. It's what we do is we add the year, which for example we're sitting on 2017. So we add the number 2, the 0 doesn't count, then we add the number 1, so that becomes a 3, and then we got a 7, 7 and 3 becomes a 10. Again, for the sake of the exercise at the moment, we're not going to look at the 0. When you do advanced numerology, the 0 is looked at a different level. But for now, we just want to look at one simple digit. So globally, we're sitting in a number 1. In numerology, we look at a cycle from 1 to 9. So we're sitting in a number 1 at the moment. Next year is going to be a number 2. The following year is going to be a number 3. And what does that mean? That means that we can sit on this vibration. And if you understand what that vibration means, it can actually help you with your journey. If you're doing quite well already, it will just elevate you to a higher place, a giggly place, a happy place, which at the end of the day, that's where we all want to be. But if you're stuck, if you've got some challenges, if there's something going on, a number 1 or numerology is going to be able to explain to you why you're stuck in that number. And at the moment, to be honest with you guys, with my readings or with my clients that they're coming to me at the moment, a lot of people are being stuck with the number 1. And we can see it on an individual, personal path, or we can see it with institutions, and we can also see it globally. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. So the number 1, when it's really balanced and quite strong, stands on its own. So you know when you look at the actual, you can visualize how it looks when you write it down. So it sort of stands, it almost looks like it's got its feet nice and firm, and it's strong, and it doesn't need anybody, you know, independent, a little bit of a leader, you know, probably wants to surround itself with what's around, but stands quite strong on his own 2 feet. So the number 1 already has this wonderful, strong, primal energy to move on its own. It is connected to blood as well when you learn about the number 1 and to the element of the sun. So as you know, the sun is fiery. It's strong, it's energizing, and the blood is vitality, is it's represented by the color red, which that's how I add my color therapy into it. Every single number is connected to a wonderful color, so my color therapy gels beautifully with the numerology. So the number 1 that we're sitting on in this year is connected to the color red, and it's connected to the strength of wanting to move forward and create changes. People say that it's the beginners. It's a beginning for everybody. And this year, I think at the beginning, we kind of last year felt a little bit heavy, a bit ugly, and we couldn't wait to start this year. So we were really looking forward to start the year. So we kind of felt this almost like an impulse to just, I want to go there, and I just want to really focus. So that's where it's pretty much going. It's like, when I compare it, or when I talk about the different colors and the different numbers, I sort of mention like when we sit in the car. We're about to sit in a car, and we kind of know where we're going, but we need to actually put the key in there and initiate the engine. That's like what the number 1 does for you. I call it the oomphy number and the oomphy color, because it gets you to really go forward with it. So that's kind of exciting. So when you understand what the number 1 can do for you, and you're kind of stuck, like I said, if you already have been working on yourself and things are kind of smoothly going well for you, that's because you're sitting on a good vibration. You've done all the hard work, or you've been working on yourself. And when we work on ourselves, there's these constant layers that we have to really kind of shred and get rid of. So when we go into a new year, we kind of go into it in a more smoother way. But when we've been struggling with our challenges for whatever reason, that's when we're feeling stuck. And sometimes we repeat the same mistakes and we don't know why. So people that come to me to see me for numerology or color therapy, I'm actually able, by looking at their birthday, because everyone that is listening to me right now, if you have a number 1 in your birthday, whether it is your date of birth, so it could be the 1st, the 10th, or even the 19th, because again, we add digits together. So the 19th will come up to a 10 again, because 9 and 1 gives you a 10. So we're looking at a number 1. Also your month. If you were born in January, or if you were born in October, we got that number 1 present. And everybody else who were born on the 19th of something, we got that number 1 sitting there. And that's why I think I wanted to talk about 2017, because I feel globally we're all really working with this vibration, and most of us are kind of feeling stuck, or we're misunderstanding what we're looking at. So the people that have this number 1 in their birthday are probably going to be a little kind of feeling it. It's like we kind of want to make some changes. I want to be a little bit bolder. I want to be a little bit more courageous. I want to be more brave. I want to stand up to certain things or certain situations. But why are we stuck? What's going on? So one of the things that I've learned, which was really interesting for my own personal journey, and now I'm happy to share it with people that I talk to, is that, as you know, the world is based on positive and negative energy. We know what the positive energy is because it's something that we always want to sort of attract into our life. But did you know that the negative energy is actually divided into 2 sectors? We're looking at, it's almost like the opposite of polarities. So I'm going to do it like that. The visual can always help me. So we've got a negative sector of opposite of polarities, and what that means is the negativity sometimes is overreactive or underactive. Overreactive is, particularly with number 1, someone that is kind of, so it's overdone. Also, they could be rulers, where they want to rule and they want to be the bully, or they want to be, the authoritarian part that I'm going to tell you what to do kind of thing. And they won't listen to anything else. And that mind frame of playing the victims, where they believe I don't have the strength to do it, I'm too scared, I'm afraid. Perhaps they've been brought up when they were little by family or society that they can't step up. They could have been conditioned to believe if they were a woman, well, you don't do that, you let a man do that. Or they could have been conditioned, even if they were a male or a woman, that you're just not good enough. So that condition creates this energy of being underactive, and they normally don't like the color red. Now again, the red could be yin and yang, that is just perfect. 2 elements completely gelling beautifully together in the middle. So when I do my readings, I try to find where we're sitting. There's kind of underwear. They don't have to be fully red. They can be polka dots or a little ring somewhere, or socks with everybody. So that is where the colour sits, and that's how we sort of do numerology. With numerology, I also want to share with you that it can also be done with your partner. So we can do joint charts. It can be with anybody that kind of really ticks you off and you're wondering why you can't actually get into a solution.
Welcome to the second edition of my brand new show, Heart and Soul Guidance with Indigo Grace. So lovely of you to tune in, and I tell you, I've got a great big message for you today. I have gone through so many hurdles today to get connected to you right now. I've literally got here by the skin of my teeth. So the message about that is, if you want something bad enough, you will move mountains to make it happen. I have moved mountains this morning. I'm not even in my own home. 20 minutes ago I was at my home, and now I'm at my parents' home. But here we are, we're online. So I'm hoping we've got some great callers today. I'm sure you are. And if you're ready, I'm ready. So let's have a look at what's needed for Heart and Soul Guidance today. So who have we got today? No caller yet. Okay. So, what else I can tell you about my morning? Well, because today it's Friday here in Australia. Again, Australian accent. I've had loads and loads of issues this morning with my internet connection. And so I look at that as being something maybe going on in me energetically, where I'm not connected. And I'm only just scraping through, and I'm only just making it in time. And I was talking to my dear friend, and she said to me, I think it's got something to do with time. And, you know, time can be an issue for a lot of people, and for me, I do find I tend to run late a little bit. So I'm going to use this morning's experience of almost running out of time and lack of connection to the internet as a guidance for me to look at something that's going on within me. What do I need to learn from this? Some might think that that's just, you know, it's just a coincidence, or it's just life, these things happen. But that's the way I like to approach life and look at the signs. And because everything is energy, an internet connection, lighting, telephones, physical bodies, everything, it's all energy. So it doesn't really matter what form it comes in, it still comes in. And so if we are aware and we listen and feel into what those signs might mean and feel what's right, then we can learn and grow and hopefully improve the outcome of things around us and follow our soul journey. So that's what I'll be doing later. Not right now though, but I do invite you to do that for yourself. So if you're wanting to have a reading with me today, give us a call. I will connect into who you are, where you're at, what you're here to do, what it is that you are challenged with at the moment and why, and what you need to do to overcome that. So it's a really great opportunity. So it sounds like we have someone from Texas. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sorry I didn't catch your name.
Hi, my name is Veronica Rocha, and I'm from Houston, Texas.
Hi, Veronica from Texas. I'm Indigo from Perth. How are you?
I'm okay. I just moved here. I'm actually originally from Lubbock, Texas.
Okay. So what's the reason for your call today?
Well, I just recently moved here, and well, I was really trying to see I could get some guidance on what I need to do next. I was fixing to go, or I've already enrolled in school for nursing.
I was just going to say, you're studying, yeah, good.
And so I've been having some hard times with, because I'm 32 and I'm trying to go back to school, so it's been a little bit hard with my, like, practicing the testing and all of that, and so I'm just trying to see where I need to go next, like what guidance y'all can give me.
Okay, so as soon as you started speaking about why you called, I had the word studying. So school, study, yeah, that's definitely the energy that I feel at the moment. It feels as though you've got a huge responsibility with another person. Did you say that you have a son? Is that what you said to me? Sorry, the line.
I have a daughter, actually.
You have a daughter.
Yes.
Are you responsible for another male in your life? A male person?
I have a guy friend that lives here in Houston, and he's been my support system since I got here.
Right. And do you help support him in some way, physically, or do you help him out?
Actually, I did help him, and I did help him once I got here. I did.
Yes. So the word that is very strong for me at the moment is around you is responsibility. Are you feeling burdened by responsibility?
My daughter, she has some learning disabilities, so it makes it hard for me to be able to do certain things that I need to get done.
Yes. And the words that's coming now is like roadblocks. So I was just sort of exhaling some energy then because I can feel the amount of energy in you that it takes for you to cope and to get by, like for you to get through your days. Obviously there's good days and less good days. It takes a lot from you, within you. And it's not that you're begrudging about that, it's just it drains you.
Yeah, I love my daughter very much. I'll give you a little bit of insight, but I was raped, and that's how I had my daughter. So I kept her because I felt that was a blessing from God to keep, But it makes it hard on a daily basis to be able to do what I need to do as a mother, as a parent, to provide a better future for her. And that's what I came here on those intentions, to really better my life.
Yes. Wow. Big responsibility. And you can do this, although it does feel overwhelming. The message that is coming through is, the word is mighty. So you are mighty, and you can access your mightiness. You just have to know that you are. So I'm telling you, so now you know, and connect to that knowing within you that you probably already suspect anyway, that you can do this. You've got an enormous amount of connection to Source, to God, to beautiful energy to support you, and it's your heart connection. So the decision that you made to keep her and to care for others is a very heart-centered connection to God, or to the universe, to Source, to Spirit. And it's really, really beautiful. And that loving heart of yours is how you're going to continue to access this energy that fuels your mightiness. That's your key. That's how you draw it, okay? So when you feel overwhelmed or confused or down or anything, go back into your heart and connect back to source, all right, to spirit, and draw it that way. And also to connect physically into nature as you do that. So whether it's you go for a walk or you sit on the grass or under a tree or whatever feels right for you, that's going to be a very powerful way for you to recharge your batteries. So as far as your first question about some guidance on what to do, this knowing that you can do it is really important about being able to step forward, move forward in your life, to know that you can manage to do these things that you want to do. So when you say you want some guidance about some direction, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you give me a bit of an example of what you're trying to work out?
I'm trying to figure out if I need to continue to go, to pursue my schooling, or do I need to wait to get everything organized, because things have been happening one after another, and I feel like the whole world is just crashing down on me all at once. But I'm trying to figure out what I need to do next.
Okay, so that sense of overwhelm?
Right.
Yeah, okay. What I do see is like a 6-month reprieve from study. So are you able to defer for 6 months?
I'm pretty sure I can, yes, I can do that.
Okay. That would be really beneficial should you choose that option. So again, we have free will. So what I'm seeing is the pathways and what is available to you depending on which pathway you choose. So if you choose to take that deferment, it will give you breathing space. It will, do you have a bit of a knot in your stomach, just high up in your stomach, in your solar plexus?
I do.
Yeah. It's tension, it's stress, and it's a little bit of anxiety. It's a little bit of that doubt about can I do this? How am I going to manage this? So what I was saying before about believing in yourself that you can. So what will happen if you give yourself a little bit of a break from at least this one big thing of study? Is that knot in your stomach affecting your eating? Is it preventing you from eating?
No, I've actually changed my eating habits recently to eating organic foods, and so healthier.
That's great. Yeah, and you've probably done that instinctively because of this energy that's in the top of the belly there. You would have been feeling as though something needed to change with your eating. So that's really great. Set down root, connect back with her in a way that you really want to be, connect back to spirit, and line up things that you need. Okay, so it feels as though there's things in your life that you need to attend to. I keep seeing an image of a man, and it feels like it's a father figure. So, can you tell me?
It's my friend, the guy that lives here, or not here with me, but lives here in Houston. That I moved here because
So it's like a guardian, support, someone that's around but not actually attached to you. So that makes perfect sense that he's not living with you, but he's around and he's watching over you. But right. Even though he's alive. Yeah, so that feels really good for you, and that connection, knowing that he is there, is of huge benefit for you. Just knowing that he's there, it really helps you a lot. Okay, it does feel as though you're going to have to put more time and energy into that person. So like you said before, you were supporting him and helping him.
Right.
So that's going to continue for a while. In fact, I think that's going to continue for quite some while, quite some time.
Trying to figure out. Oh, I would like one more, because I do meditate, but I need to exactly know what's the best way for me to meditate.
Okay. Oh, well, straight away, again, I see you out on the lawn or the grass, like in nature, under a tree. Have you ever done that?
I have, but it's been a while.
Okay. It's really a strong calling for you, your body, your physical body. So if you've got a place near you where you can really immerse yourself amongst even a small patch of garden or of natural bushland or whatever you've got nearby. I don't know, I mean, if you're in Houston, Texas, is that where you are right now?
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, oh, that's great. So does that answer everything you wanted to know today?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. All the very best. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yes, y'all have a great night.
Thank you. You too. All the best. Take care. Maybe if you're able to speak a little bit louder and a little bit slower, that would be helpful.
What I was saying was I was interested in getting my commercial driver license to drive big rigs, and I had a failed attempt last September, ma'am.
Did you say big rigs?
Yes, big trucks, commercial driver license.
Yes.
And I was...
It's a Friday, apparently. So do you know if they're open on a Friday? So there you go, November 10th.
I know all classes will start on a Monday, but they probably will have you to board a bus on a Friday or a Saturday.
There you go.
To go with?
Do you have some in mind?
I had talked to someone from a company named Maverick in TR England. I looked that up.
Even maybe it starts with the word auto, even though I know it's truck.
It starts with the word, say it again?
Even though I know it's not cars, it's about trucks. I see the letter A and I know that it starts with that word. So I don't know whether you're looking right now or whether you're just writing that down.
I'm just writing it down.
Okay. But the Maverick name, that feels positive to me as well. So,
all right,
does that
thank
help?
you so much. Yes, ma'am.
My pleasure. You're welcome. Take care. So, do we have another caller? We've only got a minute to go. Wow, time's flown once again. Well, thank you everybody for calling in. Thank you for listening. I'm really enjoying tuning in and doing this show. It's absolutely fantastic. I wish I could do it every day. So I look forward to seeing you same time next week, tuning into A1R Psychic Radio. And
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Here's your check.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and thank you who participated and have started to feel it. Beginning next week, I'm going to start sharing messages from crossed over loved ones for all the listeners and viewers who subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll include those at the end of the predictions for the week. I'll give out that, and you have someone that passed away and you want to hear from them, please feel free to do that, and hopefully a message will come through for you. Before we get into the predictions for the week ahead, a couple of quick announcements. I try to get these out of the way before I get into the show because, you know, once I get on with the live caller, Dave knows he's A1R's amazing producer. He has to cut me off. He's got to cut the cord because I will ramble and go on forever. So I try to get everything out of the way first so I can speak. Or email me at askrebeccatoday@gmail.com. Also, if you're into learning how to manifest, I recently launched a 3-part self-paced series with or without coaching, totally up to you, different price points, and you can find more information on my website, askrebecca.organizations. Overall, it's a good time for travel, period, so if you have some little trips you want to take, it's a good week to do that. There's also a sense of a slight reduction in stress for some of you. Things may not be perfect, but they'll feel less intense than they have in a while. Within the recent past, I feel like some of you, things have been really intense. Starting this week forward, there's also a feeling of getting your head back on straight and figuring out where you're going from here. And a change of scenery would be good. Take a walk around the park or something else that doesn't cost you any money if you have some financial issues. The main thing is the theme will be kind of a change of scenery. Now, the other theme that's an overall theme is strength. And that's more of a mind over matter type energy. And it's important right now for you to focus on what you want and not what you don't want. So the energy is, I feel like some of you are really going to be strong and you're going to conquer some fears and you're going to figure out how to control impulses of all kinds. Some of you, I feel it's going to become more of a heightened awareness that you have a bunch of fears and you are kind of a control freak and you do have emotional outbursts and impulses and are reacting a bit different, and a week of maybe outwardly things happening within strength and movement and traveling. Now, work. So work-wise, for those of you that are employed and have a job, work should be going well this week. If there's room, I feel like some of you, there's going to be room for growth, and if that is you, if the place of your employment, if there's a job opportunity where you could move up the chain of command or get a raise, I feel like don't hesitate. Apply for that position and ask for what you're worth because it's going to work out in your favor. It feels really positive, and I feel like just go for it. Now, if there's no upward mobility within your organization and the energy is still right to ask for a raise. Again, don't be afraid. Like, you'll be pleasantly surprised with the outcome. Now, some of you won't have the same opportunity at all. There's, may not be any room to grow within your organization, and getting a raise is completely out of the question. If you fall into that category, then I feel like what's going to happen is you are actually going to have the realization you want a new job. I feel like you already know you want a new job, but you're hanging on and you're afraid to make a move, and I feel like this week ahead you're going to be putting some serious thought into finding a new job where those opportunities do exist. So, you know, again, stop staying somewhere where you're not happy, where you're undervalued and underpaid. So face your fears. Some of you this upcoming week will decide to strike out on your own with a business idea. Again, the energy is really, really good for it. All I kept getting was do it, do it, do it, do it. So if that is you, do it, no fear. Follow your heart, follow your passion, go for it. Now, others, you will either decide to quit your job next week, or some of you are going to, maybe you've already given like your 2 weeks notice, and next week will be the week that you're in the process of actually leaving your job. So again, kind of a decent, good energy that you can look forward to this week. And those of you that are struggling, I know that feeling, I know that intensity, and I know it feels like there's no way out. What could you possibly do? You got to stay there. That's not true. You know, there's definitely something to be said for switching jobs every few years, because you will end up making more money that way than if you stay with the same employer. Okay, so for those of you that are looking for a job, well, this week is about you realizing your skill set and realizing your worth and kind of finding the strength within yourself to start seeing it through. So I feel like some of you are in that space that have been struggling and kind of stalling because of fear, and you're holding yourself back. And I kind of feel that that energy is going to lift next week, and you will definitely be feeling more motivated to move forward and actually start applying for jobs consistently. Like apply, apply, apply. It doesn't matter if you get rejected. It doesn't matter. Who cares? That just means that job's not the one for you. Eventually somebody's going to hire you. So let go of the fears and just focus on what you want. So for you guys, next week is all about getting your courage up to proceed, and I feel you'll experience that. Okay, love. Those of you in committed relationships and are dating, the energy kind of feels like it's time to do some connecting, you know, maybe some canoodling or, you know, whatever, spooning on the couch, watching some movies or something. So I do feel like some of you will be taking a trip, even if it's just a picnic in the park or, you know, going on a walk together. I do feel like you guys are going to, again, it's connected to movement. So there's something happening with movement and traveling and a change of scenery. And it's all about you wanting to spend some quality time with your main squeeze. Now, others of you will be struggling to break some old stuck energies, some old patterns of behaviors in your relationship. Get out and do a change of scenery. Like, it's time to get unstuck. It's time to break the habit and the pattern of going around arguing, bickering, or whatever that is. So change that energy and get out and about, and I think, you know, it will bring some freshness in. Those of you that are single and looking for love, I feel next week some of you will finally go and like explore new places. Instead of doing like the same routine and hitting the same places and doing the same thing, hanging out with the same people. Again, it's like change, try something different, and don't be surprised if you meet someone next week or this following week when you actually put yourself out there in this new energy, because it's perfect for this week, especially because I feel a lot of you will be feeling more confident than usual, so there's really going to be like this up, peppy, good energy. Those of you that haven't quite worked your way up to that and are still feeling maybe a little lonely, need anybody, and those of you, I feel like you need to get out as well and explore new places and, again, do a change of scenery. But the most important thing that I feel like you'll realize is go for it. Now, finances. Money for the week ahead is in a positive cycle for most of you anyway. I do feel like it's kind of in this weird opposites thing where for some of you it will be a positive and for some of you it will be a negative, but again it's connected to like this change of motion and scenery. And so basically if you've been struggling for a while, expect to see some money flowing your way this week. Expect things to feel a little more abundant and a little more exciting. And, you know, if you've been riding high for some time, expect some money matters to come up that will affect your bottom line. Now, I don't feel like it's, you know, for some of you it might be drastic. Some of you it could be like, oh my God, the engine in my car just blew and now I need a brand new freaking car. So there could be some things like that happening. Those of you that have been on the downswing a little bit and money has